Welcome into the Josh Sadler Show on this great Thursday evening. You got a Thursday ball game, buddy. On the road, that means you had to leave school early today.
Yeah.
Had to get out and get the boys on the road. First long trip.
First long trip. Went to Vandergrift for our scrimmage, but this is the first long trip for a ball game. Yes, sir.
And Brenham is a little drive.
About a 2-hour trip. 2-hour trip down the road back in the southern part of East Texas.
So you with a lot of time to talk to the boys about the game, huh?
No, I'm hoping that they sit back here on the bus and just kind of chill out. Is what I hope.
So lots of headphones.
Yep.
Earbuds everywhere.
Yes, sir.
Yeah.
Yes, sir.
You need to go through there and check some of that music, buddy.
No, I'm gonna stay away from that because that's more the parents' department than me. I'm not gonna monitor that, man. They
whatever gets them ready to go, right?
That's it. They can listen to what they want to as long as I don't have to listen to it with them. So
that's what I've always said.
We'll be good.
Hey, let's go back to last week. Tough Lake Belton team comes over here, and boy, it was a slobber knocker again. You're in one almost every week, buddy. It's a competition you put on your schedule.
Right.
Makes you tough. But, I mean, these are tough ball games.
Right, and that's a testament to our kids and what they're doing inside of our program. I'm really proud of them with everything that they're doing. I just, the big thing for us moving forward, and that's my watch, by the way, going crazy.
No lie detector.
Yeah, but, I'm really proud of our kids and how they've responded to these situations. In 3 different ball games this year, we've had 3 really different situations that they've had adversity, kind of to try to overcome. Game 1, it was we were up big and we had to learn how to handle a lead, so that when we move forward we can get better. In the second ball game, it was just back and forth, and we left points out there. That we should have scored with, and we should have been, had more points on the board and had, for me, a different outcome. And in the third ball game, we get down big, then we've got to find a way to come back, and they fought back through that. So, I mean, each and every game has presented its own, series of things that our kids are having to learn how to go through, and we got a bunch of young kids. And they're having to learn how to do these things. And hopefully what, my hope is, and that the plan that there is out there from the man above is that all these things are teaching these young men how to handle themselves in the good and the bad and the ugly. And, as we keep the course and do what we're supposed to do, that's going to, really work itself out.
Yeah, I looked at the stats. I had them on the air last night on my shows reading stats, and I see Killeen with the number 1 offense, head and shoulders above everybody else.
Yeah.
But then I looked down in the defense.
Yeah.
And the 400 and something yards per game getting up there. So and they're big. I've been to a lot of those, and they're big plays that are happening on you. A lot of those yards.
Well, and what's happening, and this is pretty indicative of the offense that we run. When we go as fast as we do, we have a lot of series that we get a chance to run. So, we may have 15 or 16 possessions. Well, that means the defense also has 15 or 16 possessions, which is not a normal number for a high school football game. Normally, in a high school football game, you get 10 or 9, 10, 11 possessions. And like last week, we were 8 of 16 on stops. So if you usually have 8 stops in a game defensively, then you've really had a good game. But because, we're moving as fast as we are and we're trying to score as many points as we can score, they have more possessions. And, when you have 16 possessions, your kids are on the field a long time. So there's some trade-off in there. And that's where we've got to continue to try to find our balance through the offense and defense and everything that we do to maximize what we're putting out there.
Yeah, the best quarterback in the district.
Well, statistically, yes.
Yeah.
He's got a lot of yards right now, a lot of completions, doing a great job. And he's just a sophomore.
Yeah.
And there's so much more room for growth. We look at it, every week at what we execute and what we did well and then what we didn't do well. And there's still some things out there that we can get better at offensively with our quarterback, with our receivers, with our running backs, and with our offensive line every single time we go out there. And, we feel like, at times we're leaving points out there on the field. And that's the things that we've got to, shore up and make better.
Yep, and you don't have much time. You have to work on it just a few days. And as I said, tonight you got the Brenham Cubs at Brenham. Brenham is always it's a one-school town still, I believe.
Yes, it is.
So we've got it's Cub fever down there.
And they've got their fair week and all that stuff happening this week.
Oh, boy.
And that's why we're playing on Thursday because, their coach knows that their kids are heavily involved in FFA and everything else, so they're going to be out there at the fairgrounds showing cattle, showing sheep and everything else. So, that's why we're playing on Thursday. I wanted to play on Friday, and he said that we're playing his place, and he wants to play on Thursday, so that's what we're going to do.
He didn't offer any ice cream or anything?
No, not yet. That's not in the package. That wasn't in the contract that we signed. So
you got to work with me next time.
Yeah. We'd like to get a little bluebell in there, but I'd rather come away with a win than the bluebell. So
yes, sir. Yeah. And what do you know about them?
They're a young team as well, but they are very athletic, and I think they're probably going to be one of the best football teams that we played this year. They're ranked number 10 in the state in 5A Division II, which there's not much difference between 5A Division II and where we are in 6A. It's good football. It's good football. They're big up front. They're physical up front. They got a 220-pound Mike linebacker that comes downhill and will knock your head off. They're long and rangy in the back end. Those kids play both ways and play some receiver too. And then they got a sophomore running back that's probably one of the best in the state of Texas. And so we've got our hands full. They're going to be a good football team. They're well coached. And, we've got to go out there and do the things that we know we can do well and execute at a high level. And at that point in time, I told the kids this yesterday, if we go execute at the level we know we're capable of and we do the things that we know we're good at, we'll be just fine. Yeah, at the end of the day, we'll be fine. We'll be right there in the thick of things and giving ourselves a chance to win. It doesn't matter who we're playing.
Right, and this is all non-district, folks, so the slate gets wiped clean. Next week you start all over again, so it's a brand new season.
Yeah. Well, and I think, a lot of people put a heavy emphasis on, you try to win 10 games. And there's no doubt we want to win 10 games. But the big thing is, are we getting better every week? Because our schedule is a tough one. It really is. There's no cupcakes on our schedule. Oh. We didn't want to schedule anything where, hey, we know we got 3 wins here. It looks good going into district. I don't like doing that stuff. I like putting our kids in a situation where they have to struggle to win and struggle to get better each and every week. And I think that's what we've done. Like I said, all 3 games have presented 3 different scenarios for these kids to have to overcome adversity. And that's all we can really ask of our kids, is to go out there and play as hard as they can and overcome the adversity that's in front of them. We've fallen a little bit short. Every ball game's been, 10, 6, and 7 points. Yeah. We're right in the thick of it, and we're looking for that one thing to get us over the edge. And we're going to find that one thing. I'm praying and hoping it's this week as we roll into district, so that we can get this train going in the right direction like we're supposed to and in a timely manner.
Well, you see the improvement every game. I've been to most of your ball games and missed one, I think, but that's it. But I see improvement each and every week.
Yeah. Well, and I'm proud of our offensive line. You go back to week 1, and I think we had 130 yards rushing. Week 2 we had 205 yards rushing. Last week had almost 250 yards rushing. So, our offensive line's getting better every week in the run game, and we're going to have that. We can throw the ball. We've shown the fact that we can throw the ball. But people are going to start lightening the box and putting more in coverage, to try to thwart us from throwing the ball. So we're going to have to run the football whenever they lighten that box. And, last week against Lake Belton, they were good up front, had good linebackers, proved to me that our kids are growing in that aspect, that they're paying attention to practice. They're working hard to try to better that part of our game. And as long as we continue to do that in all aspects, and that's offense, defense, special teams, then we're going to be just fine. I watched our defense go out and stop a really potent offense. 8 times. Yeah. 8 times they went out there and stoned them. And I'm telling you, from the second quarter to the end of the third quarter, we played really, really good defense. And then there were those spurts, like 21-point burst in the first quarter. There was another 21-point burst in the fourth quarter. It was right there neck and neck. And it's just like we can't get on the same schedule because, offense was sputtering in the first and the defense was sputtering in the first. And it got 21-0 in that ball game last week. And then the offense gets going in the second quarter, and we get going defensively in the second quarter, and then we tie that bad boy back up. And it's just that ebb and flow. And what we've got to do is put it all together. Like I say, we're putting a lot of young kids that are trying to figure their way out there. And, I'm really proud of how they're growing and developing. And we just got to stay the course.
And that's what you said in the post game when I was out there for their huddled up, and you said, "Boys, I'm proud of you. I'm proud of you." Yeah, because and that's exactly what he said to the kids. So I don't have to repeat it.
Yeah,
well, you done said it, man.
Well, and the hard thing is, as a coach, you're disappointed. You don't want to be 0-3.
Yeah, I don't know.
But The reality of the situation is that we're working with young men. We're working with young men who are trying to grow to be men. And if all I ever do is tell them about the bad things that they do, the fact that we're 0-3 and we're not good enough, we're not good enough, we're not good enough. Well, over time, that becomes something different. I need to let them know that I'm proud of them. I need to let them know that the fact that they were 21 points down on 2 separate occasions in that football game, and they kept fighting, they kept clawing, they kept doing the things that we've taught them to do, and they brought themselves back into a situation where they had a chance to win.
Yeah.
And they just never go away, and that's something that I'm just so proud of. That speaks volumes to what they've done in off season. It speaks volumes to what they've done over the past 2 years trying to get this program back to where we want it to be.
Well, you're doing a great job, Josh, and I appreciate you taking time out for me as always. And good luck against the Brenham Cubs. Yeah. And if you got a chance to get me some ice cream, give me a holler. I'll meet you halfway.
It'll probably be gone by the time I see you, buddy.
I'm sure it probably would be on that bus.
Yeah, there ain't no doubt.
But good luck to you.
Thank you. I appreciate you, Dan. And always, go Roos.
You're watching I-14 Sports Network.